This slide just tells us that we should keep in mind that work life or work is different from school. In school, we learn a lot, we study, we learn, and it's for short term, and we attend short term training. But outside school, we practice everything that we've studied. We make contributions. We're no longer learning, but we're still learning, but we're making contributions primarily. And then it's also for long term. So the idea here is for you to plan ahead, think about that area that you want to, spend your a huge portion of your career in, and find a way to develop yourself in that area. And there are a lot of other career paths. Okay. Um, Research and academics, I talked about some of these: hydro geoscience, solid minerals, waste management, environmental geoscience. I mean, these are all geoscience related disciplines. So this is saying you don't have to be in the oil and gas industry. That's basically what this is saying. There are some other areas. Waste management is key. If you're someone who has some very good foundation, background in your geology or environmental geology, you can come in handy there. Hydrogeology also is another one, another area where you can come in handy. Geotechnics and engineering geoscience, you can come in very handy. I mean, we have people who are going into solar panel and all kinds of stuff. Space geoscience is there. Solid minerals, of course, for those like if you're in South Africa or even here in Nigeria. I'm sure in Cameroon also there are solid minerals. I mean, there are a lot of people who couldn't get a job in maybe a company of choice. They eventually get into there and they're making it big. So these are just some career paths to keep in mind. That's for those who want to live as geologists. Okay, so this chart just shows a little more on what we see. The graduate geoscientist, this is like a research someone did. The observation is that most graduate geologists, they either find their way into corporate systems or non-profit organizations or government agencies, and sometimes in academics. So for corporate bodies, oil and gas, groundwater industry, environmental, and all that we said in the previous slide. Non-profit will be more of consulting. So you're using your knowledge to consult. So you own your own business, okay, or you're running an NGO or something like that. But that's also one career path. And then another area is you may decide you don't want to work for corporate or non-profit, but you find yourself in the government agencies. I mean, there are geological surveys. Almost every country have their own geological survey. Okay, so it's something to keep in mind as we think about career, so that you don't limit it to thinking. You don't just think about this as I want to work in oil and gas or I want to work in the mining sector. There are other sectors that are just there. They are very subtle. They are just as if it's not key, but a lot of people are finding their way into these agencies and they're making it, and they're actually controlling things. And then if you're, of course, there are people who naturally have passion for teaching. Like I do, I like to teach also. Part of why I'm doing this. So you can key into that, develop yourself in one area as a research fellow or as a tutor. Okay, but this is just all career paths for geoscientists.